Whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for attending Ready, Set, Go Teamcenter at a Rapid Start. My name is Diana Dietrich. I am one of the marketing specialists here at Swoosh Technologies, and I will be your moderator throughout the entire session. So please feel free to take notes during the webinar if you'd like, but if you'd rather sit back and enjoy, absolutely no problem. We will be sending out an email in the next few days for you to view this webinar session. If you have any questions, please feel free to add this in the question box, and we will have these answered during the Q&A portion, which will take place after the presentation. Presenting our topic today is PLM Application Specialist Sam Estrada. Just a little bit about Sam. Sam is a leading application engineer with Swoosh Technologies and Solutions and has over 18 years of experience in industrial industries with a focus on design, fabrication, and manufacturing. Currently, his goal is to accelerate industry design processes and increase collaboration throughout the product life cycle. During the webinar session, we will be discussing Teamcenter Rapid Start. So what is Rapid Start? It's a product data management solution that helps you easily manage, find, and share data throughout your entire life cycle. Why exactly do we want you to know about Rapid Start? Some of the issues that we noticed in the market today that's been affecting many job shops and companies is not having the ability to access all data from one location, making it difficult to know who on the team is working on what file or who has access to what. Another issue we've seen is revisions take forever. It can become monotonous and can end up making you feel unorganized, or you end up searching around relentlessly for the product information that you need to find immediately. So then you end up throwing in the towel and say, forget it, I can't find my data, I know it's there, but I've got a million other things to do, so maybe I'll just start over. We don't want you to feel like you need to start over. We want managing product data to be a simple task for you and your team. Sam will be discussing how Rapid Start can effectively help you find, manage, and share your data all in one location, and also detail to you the benefits and why this PDM solution will work for you. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to add this in the questions box, and we will have these answered during the Q&A portion, taking place right after the presentation. All right, take it away, Sam.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Diana. So let's see, let's go ahead and get into it right here. So most if not all of you, I don't know if y'all are looking for a managed environment, and some of the challenges that you face currently, or you may know somebody who's facing these challenges, is, say you're an engineer. The first thing that pops into your mind, the first thing you have to deal with whenever you're looking for one of your projects that you're working on or need to start doing something, is you need to find your data. And right now, if you're working outside of an unmanaged environment, you're looking in multiple spots in order to find it. So in many cases, if you're an engineer, you'll find yourself searching through maybe some relevant, irrelevant information, trying to find what you need to work on. And once you find it, then you wonder if this is the latest thing I'm working on. Is this most current? Is there something else that's been, what if there's another change that's affected it? Is it obsolete? And then once you get to that, once you find out maybe, if it's not obsolete or it's usable, then you wonder, okay, what do I need to do with it? Where do you go from this point? Is it need to go to, out to the shops and you go to marketing? And that's where Teamcenter and Rapid Start in particular comes into play. It'll help you get all your data organized in one centralized location, like Diana was saying. So what is Rapid Start? In all reality, Rapid Start is Teamcenter. So whenever we talk Rapid Start, we're actually talking about Teamcenter, but it is a pre-configured installation that is supplied out of Siemens and that we supply to you as a customer. What do you get out of this? Well, because this is a pre-configured environment, the installation allows smaller companies to utilize Teamcenter's powerful PDM capabilities sooner, quicker, and with less downtime. The benefits that you get using the pre-configured service in Teamcenter is that once you get all your data inside this database, you'll get single source data, so everybody Everybody's working off the same page. Everything's stored in the same location. The processes become fairly easy, repetitive, and the ability to manage your CAD and document data from one location. It streamlines everything, makes everybody more productive, and what I like to emphasize is the reuse capability that you get, because everybody's working off the same thing, working off the same page, everything's stored. You're able to see the history, and I'll show you that here as we go through the presentation. But coming from the solid edge side, one thing we emphasize is reuse, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel every single time you go out to the every time you go out to the shop, or every time you want to come out and revise a new product. So with Rapid Start and product data management, you and your engineers will be able to quickly find exactly what you're looking for, understand it, and then know what to do with it afterwards, because all the information will be sitting there in one location, not sitting in multiple files or on Fred's hard drive on his desktop, and you can't get to it because he went on vacation. So the main things we'll start off with and look at the Multi-CAD Data Management that's available to you in Rapid Start, and the Document Data Management. We'll focus on these two first because these are the main pain points. These are the main problem areas. Once you get your CAD data under control, and once you get your data under control, the document data, which refers back to the actual product, so by definition, both of them should be together. But once you get both of these inside Teamcenter and managed, then we can use one of the other powerful pre-configured options that are included in Rapid Start, and that is process management, so workflows, engineering change notices. This can come in afterwards. It's automatically installed using the pre-configured environment, so it speeds things up. But once you get these top two that I'll go through first, the bottom one, the process management, the workflows, kind of fall into place. Hence, afterwards, then you'll be using Teamcenter and Rapid Start in a true PDM fashion and managing all your data. So what kind of CAD can we manage inside Teamcenter and Rapid Start? Well, Teamcenter Rapid Start really doesn't care where your data's come from. It doesn't have to be an actual Siemens product. Now, we prefer you have a Siemens product, but it'll manage anything out there. So if you have SolidWorks, Solid Edge, and X, Inventor, we can manage your data. Not only can you manage your data, but other people will be able to search for it. If you're one of the engineers, you'll be able to open it out of the managed environment, and it'll use a check-in and check-out method. And I think most people are familiar with that. It's pretty much the same thing as if you go to the library. You go pick out a part, check it out, make a change that you ever need to make to it. Once you're done, you check this back into the database. All that happens. There's a couple of technical things that go on in the background, but it's very fast. It's very secure. Once you check it out, nobody else can make changes to the part that you're working on. Then you can save it back into the database, allowing other people to see the changes that you're working on. So truly making it a collaborative environment. What also happens, and what also is available with the pre-configured Rapid Start in Teamcenter, is a common 3D model that's shared within the entire organization. So that means non-CAD users will be able to see the model that an engineer is currently working on and developing. The CAD model then represents a product, so then you end up communicating with the entire organization with greater ease. Now, I don't have to explain why that's a benefit, but everybody can see that, everybody being on the same page comes in handy. And the lightweight model that's automatically generated is visible to everybody inside the organization and even outside the organization as well. So if you want to send that data outside the organization, you can send them this lightweight 3D model. It's a tessellated file, so there's no worry about people importing it directly in and stealing your intellectual property. They'll have to work at it a lot, but it's very secure. Once you get the data in, you can sort it out however you need to. The Teamcenter and Rapid Start will display the information in a nice, neat environment. So if you're familiar with with Outlook on how it's laid out. It's got the same feel for things. It'll display information. Using the preconfigured option, you'll have certain tabs that are available to you. So you can see here I've got a little example of, you know, a motor housing that was saved up into Teamcenter. So you get the visual cue with that lightweight model. You could open it up directly from here, edit it natively inside your CAD package through one of the integrations that come pre-configured with Rapid Start. So you just tell us which CAD package you have, and we install it there for you. And if somebody from purchasing or somebody downstream or in the supply chain wants to see, you know, order a part and get a visual cue, they can directly reference the actual model that you had saved in there in the Teamcenter. So what are the benefits of having your CAD data managed inside Teamcenter? Well, one, the design data is easy to find. So once you add it in there, you have all the search capabilities. Everything's in one spot. And I'll show you a little, I got a pretty cool little slide that shows you all this coming together. But the main thing is, regardless of what CAD system it came from, it's going to be managed in the same environment. Everybody who needs to see the 3D representation or the model will have access to it. Depending on the user's rights and capabilities, they can either change it or just view it. And the data is shared seamlessly across your entire enterprise. The other piece of data that Teamcenter and the Rapid Start configuration manages very well is the document management, the documents that relate back to your product. So not only is your company generating CAD models to produce and manufacture, but there's a lot of extra data and documents, and doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, office documents, but say a multiple variety of other things that help describe and help give information to the product you're creating. The document management inside Teamcenter Rapid Start is very robust because you also get the revision controls. You'll get to use them in workflows, but it'll all be stored together with your part. And because we have the Office integration that's pre-configured with Rapid Start, people who are unfamiliar with, you know, they're familiar with their desktop environment will get to stay in their desktop environment. So if you're used to using Word or Excel, you can directly access Teamcenter from the integration by simply going up to the menu ribbon bar and saving the document you're currently working on up to Teamcenter. And you will be able to save it in a specific spot where it'll be easy to find and easily connected to your product. This is very powerful because most of the software and most of the other data management softwares out there don't allow you to do this with this great of ease. And the amount of time that is wasted by having to search for these documents in particular, because the CAD guys are usually working on their own models and saving it up to, you know, one part of their hard drives, and then everybody else is like marketing or somebody who's doing FEA analysis, they're saving it to another part. And usually you'll have a big disconnect. But with Rapid Start, you're able to combine these two and save it all in one location. You will also have, with the integration, especially with Office, you still have the same capabilities that the CAD users had with their integration. So you get to check out. You get to check out, check back in, save directly to the database, save within the managed environment. So the latest and greatest will be up inside your managed environment, and there's nothing that's left to chance and left, you know, out of the picture. So the benefits of having your documents managed inside Teamcenter Rapid Start, well, all the documentation that describes and defines your product is securely managed in one place, and it's also easy to find and attach to your product. Another one, that the documents will evolve with the product across its life cycle. So if something gets recalled or somebody has a revision on a part, there's documents. These documents will track with that part and go and grow with it as the life cycle of the part goes through. Even when it gets obsoleted, you have to update documents as well. You'll update the document, put it in the same location in Teamcenter with the Rapid Start configuration. We'll hold on to that. Whenever you come back and search for it, it's there. It's captured. Any updates, any reused, any released parts, they're there. And the documents are easily created, updated with familiar desktop tools like Word, Excel, the non-CAD people don't have to go off and learn a brand new system. They can just stay within what they know. So how does all this look? Okay, I've talked about some CAD, I've talked about the documents, but in all reality, how does it look inside the database? How does it look inside Teamcenter? Well, you have your product, and right now, once you save it up to Teamcenter, it'll look like this. You'll have your product name. Think of these as like a container, and there's a large heading up here. This is your main product. Down below would be the different versions or releases of that said product. So here I've got two products here. So what would go inside these containers? Well, you have all sorts of information. You have the CAD models, the documents, office documents, and as we transition and you start working inside Teamcenter, you see all that gets automatically stored in their individual containers in one centralized spot. So if I look for part 1, 2, 3, I can search for it in the database, quickly find the first revision, second revision, and any other document that went with it. So let me do that again real quick in case that disappeared. We got quality documents, manufacturing information, engineering changes. All that automatically gets stored in one centralized location, right underneath exactly where it needs to go. So if you have part numbers, you want to say you have a description card, all that will get stored in one centralized location in the form of attribute forms, data sheets, stuff like that, but it's all in one spot. And when you make a change, make a new revision, Teamcenter and Rapid Start through the configuration is smart enough to capture all the data that was used before in the previous revision and automatically apply it to the new revision, hence letting you go in there and make changes and update for the new file. So this alone right here is very powerful and very useful to your organization. You'll go from having all the data spread out everywhere, collected all in containers and in one centralized location, getting all the information, part numbers, customer names, descriptions, materials, all associated with your product and your item revisions. And for any other new revision, the data automatically gets copied over and carried through the database. Everybody will have access to this, depending on the right and the privileges you have in the database. You'll be able to go and make changes. So CAD designers will be able to go make changes to CAD files. If you had a vendor, they'd only be able to view it. It's a very secure system. Again, single source of information to allow all the users to make better informed decisions because everything's in one location. Everybody's working off the same page. Great communication. What's also on the tail end of it, so the third block that was sitting up in at the very beginning of this was your process management. Now, process management consists of your workflows, and Teamcenter Rapid Start comes with some pre-configured workflows, so you don't have to figure these out. And coming up with these workflows on a traditional Teamcenter installation is what takes the longest time to figure out. There's a lot of back and forth. It takes weeks upon weeks of planning and get everybody on the same page. It can draw out for a fairly lengthy time. You can come up with some complex ones too if you want. But Rapid Start gives you the ability of using some pre-configured workflows that have been set up through best practices by Siemens, and we go ahead, install it. These get installed. You have certain workflows, and these are automated tasks that will take your product and say you want to go ahead and start implementing releases, start implementing engineering change notices. This will automate that entire process and move you from paper files, which you may be using now, and hand delivery from desk to desk, and this will make it all automatic, all electronic. You'll even get Microsoft notifications through email with the Microsoft integration, so no longer do you have to go pick up an engineering change request or a change order and hand it to another engineer down the hall. It'll get an automatic Microsoft email, so you'll get an Outlook email saying that you have a task waiting for you to go ahead and approve. You'll be able to open up your product. If you don't have a CAD system installed, you can look at it through the viewer. You'll be able to see the model, see all the information, and sign off on it. Also, as you progress on through your evolution into PDM and Teamcenter Rapid Start, you'll also get to take advantage of the engineering change management. This is pre-configured, and you can start using it whenever you feel ready for it. But this is so you can keep track of those changes and keep track of those revisions. This will apply it directly onto your product and follow it along. So just like you saw in the previous slide where all the information was stored underneath that tree that was showing up there on the right-hand side, this engineering change notice works the same way. This will follow it through the entire life cycle of the product. Again, the benefits of using the process management. So once you get your CAD files in order, get your documents in order, get your product, everything's working well, you can start using it. But the benefits of this is that the product status will be clearly indicating, eliminating confusion and rework. Everybody will be able to see what status your product has. If it's been released, if it's been obsoleted, if it's gone in for changes, everybody will get notified at the same time. The workflow is all electronic and will deliver all the information to complete the task. There's not going to be any half this, half that written down. Maybe somebody wrote down a post-it note that needed to be changes. Everything is captured. Everything is auditable. Everything is you can go back and double check and track. The projects are completed on time and without any last-minute scrambling and trying to figure out why it was changed or what needs to be changed. Because everybody's working inside the same environment, they're working off the same page. This final step alone solidifies your investment, pays for itself once you start using the automated processes. So to recap, you get your CAD management, multi-CAD environment, so regardless of what you're using, if you're using a Solid Edge, great. You're using SolidWorks, okay, we'll manage it all. We'll manage not only your CAD data, but your documents as well. So Word documents, Excel documents, pictures, videos if you need to. If you want to throw those up in the managed environment and have it referenced back to your product, we can manage those as well. Keep track, can keep history on it. And then once we help you get control of your data, we can go ahead and implement your process management. So with workflows, engineering change notices. This takes us to the installation. The Rapid Start installation is fairly easy. I got a couple of screenshots, not all of them, I got a couple of them. But in order to get here, the power of the Rapid Start installation is it's all pre-configured. Now, it is Teamcenter. It's just that they've taken a couple of things and written in some variables and automatically had some stuff preset up. Workflows are preset up. Engineering change notice is preset up. We have a pre-configured, CAD capability, so you just tell us what CAD system you're using. We click on an option here and fire it off, and it gets installed. There's a couple of there's two installations that occur. One is on your server, if you have one, and I'll get to it here in another slide, and the other one is on a workstation, the clients. There is an option of using a web-based interface if you'd like. It's available with Rapid Start, it's pre-configured. There's also a shop floor viewer where people out in the shop will be able to log on through a web interface and look at the data and not be able to change anything. That's all part of the Rapid Start installation. But once you get past a couple of the screens, you tell it, the server ID, the description, you tell it what type of installation you want, and the 4-tier is the web-based version, so you can have access through a website internally. You can use the shop floor viewer. You tell it you want the Microsoft integration. It'll list them all. You hit start, and the difference between this and the standard Teamcenter installation, this takes about 45 minutes to an hour to finish installing up on your server. Now, granted, you still have to do some other things like install we can install the client software, but the main installation goes down from a week or two down to 40. You get a pretty compact and fairly quick installation there on your server. that takes me to the deployment options. Now, what I was speaking about mainly was an on-premise deployment. So this would be, you have your own infrastructure. You would get the Teamcenter installation disk, and you would choose the Rapid Start installation, the preconfigured, and it would install there on your server. With case, of course, we would go in and help you set up your server, double check to make sure your Windows operating system is correct, install the software. There's an option where we can go in and do a sandbox and let you get used to it. But mainly, it's going all on your stuff. If your stuff isn't up to date, then we could probably go in there and update some of the things, but all that just means extra cost up front. Now, why would I be mentioning extra cost in the webinar? Well, we have an option to alleviate that. We can do a cloud deployment. Now, cloud deployment, that means we get to, what we'll do is we'll do a really, really fast Teamcenter Rapid Start installation, because it'll be managed up inside a secure cloud environment. And not just a secure cloud environment, but your own personal cloud environment, which you'll be able to choose from any Windows Server OS operating system. So if you want to work with 2008, or if you want the latest and greatest, we can set you up with that. You can also, I said scalable, it should be scalable server size. So if you want to start off, we start you off with a certain size server. If you grow past the limitations of that server, there's no extra cost. In buying a brand new piece of hardware, we simply just change out the plan and upgrade you to a different server. The other benefit that you get from a cloud deployment versus an on-site deployment where you're pretty much managing your own stuff is that Swoosh Technologies would go in there and manage your server, manage your Teamcenter and Rapid Start environment. So after the installation is done, which is very, very, very quick once we do it in a cloud environment because we're dealing with virtual servers, we would manage that. We would keep you on, keep your environment up. If there was any problems, we would go in and diagnose, check things out, keep you working would be the main focus. We would become your IT department for your Teamcenter environment. We would also perform software upgrades. We would perform backups and restores. So in case something catastrophic happened to your data, we would go in there and restore you up in minimal time. Again, maintain system uptime, and then provide disaster recovery. So going with the cloud solution would save you, and if you didn't have an infrastructure already, and even if you did, the cloud deployment combined with the Rapid Start configuration of Teamcenter is a very cost-effective option in today's marketplace. And as things are moving over to virtual servers, that's the future right there. But in the context of this, this webinar right here, we can get you some more information on that cloud environment. The main things I want you to walk away from this webinar is just the ease and the ease of which Teamcenter manages your data, and the ease of which we can get you up and running, especially inside a cloud environment. So with that, if there's any questions, I'll go ahead and pass it back off to Diana. Thanks for your time.
We actually do have some questions, Sam. So the first one is, as far as MultiCAD, do you still need to buy individual Teamcenter CAD interface?
The integration gets installed. As far as you need to purchase it, I will have to double check on that. I don't want to tell you that yes, you have to buy some, or no, you don't have to buy some. I know that we go ahead and install everything that needs to communicate back and forth on the server. But as far as the actual cost on installing, as they say, the SWIM integration with SolidWorks or the SWIM integration with AutoCAD, I'll double check that on the client station. I'm inclined to say yes, but I will double check that just because it has to deal with price, and I don't want to tell somebody no, it doesn't cost something and come back and tell them, well, yeah, it did. So let me double check that, and we'll get his email address and we'll send that to him.
Okay. Two more questions. So I only have 3 designers. Does this product fit for a group this small?
Yes, it does, because of the preconfigured environment. One, it'll save you time and money on getting you up and running. Now with 3 people, it works great because you're managing your data. Okay, having no managed, not having a managed environment versus having a managed environment, I would, much rather go with the managed environment, especially with 3 people, because you're all producing data. You're all producing, CAD models. You're all producing documents. Those things have to be kept up with. You're coming up with different revisions. If there's an audit that needs to take place, or something goes wrong, or something happens with your product out in the field 2 years from now, you want to be able to go back and double check and make sure, check why it failed. People come asking how come changes were made. You'd have all that history intact on a secured server for you to go back and reference, and then even for your own records, you'll go back and reference, why did we make this change, or what did we make 2 years ago. So even with a group of 3, managing your data and using the Rapid Start configuration is a plausible solution for you.
Okay, and then we have a little bit of time for one last question. What database is this based on? Would I need to buy more software to run this?
Teamcenter gets installed on a SQL server using SQL. So Microsoft, if you're running 2008, we'll install it with SQL. We can also install it with Oracle. The cost comes in if you have your own infrastructure. You're supplying your own SQL license. And most servers do come with a version of SQL already pre-installed, so there wouldn't be any cost there. If we do a cloud deployment, you don't have to worry about the cost of the Windows operating system. You don't have to worry about the price of the SQL license, SQL, anything like that. It's all pre-included with your cloud environment. You just tell us, point and choose which one you want. The cost comes down to quarter dollars per hour versus going off and buying a full license.
Okay, it looks like we are out of time for the day. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us. We want you to be able to get started and learn more about Teamcenter Rapid Start. So if you have any technical questions or need information on how to use Rapid Start, don't hesitate to contact Sam by phone or by email, because he knows his stuff. If you're looking into learning more about the product or have any sales questions, please feel free to call me, Diana, by phone or by email as well. I will then direct you to one of our sales reps who can help you move forward. So once again, thank you so much for attending our Rapid Start webinar. Just a reminder that we will be sending out a recording of this webinar session to everyone soon to view. All right, thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.